G'day guys, it's Rick from Tackle Village back with another fly tying tips video. In this video we're going to teach you how to make your own leader. So it's really handy if you want to save a bit of money or you want to make leaders to a particular specification to be able to make up your own tapered leader. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to use these spools of Maxima line and we're going to use this leader formula here, given to me by a gentleman who taught me to fly fish many years ago. He's no longer with us, but unfortunately, has left behind this fantastic and simple leader formula. Now I'm just going to put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing with my hands. So you'll lose my head, but I'll keep talking you through the process. So camera goes down. So the first thing we want to do is cut off our lengths of leader. So if we're looking at the formula, what we've got is Maxima line in these poundages, and each section is 14.25 inches long. So I need to do a 25, a 20, a 15, a 10, an 8, a 6 and a 4, and then we can join our tippet onto that. We'll make a loop knot on the end of that once we complete the leader. So putting this away, I'm going to grab my 25-pound line. This is the only one I don't have Maxima for. I've got this strand line, which is similar sort of characteristic line. What you want for this process is a line that's very stiff. The tippet itself, the material you put on the end, can be quite supple, but to get these leaders to turn over, I like to be a nice stiff line. So there's my length of 25-pound. I'm going to join that to the 20-pound. Bear with me and I'll just get out the 20-pound, cut that to length. So I'm cutting it to 360 mil or 14.25 inches. Righto, I've got the two sections and I join these with a simple blood knot. So take this, and with a thick line like this, it's really enough to just do 2 turns. You don't need to do more. As the line goes down, we'll do more turns. There's another video on my site if you want to see on my channel rather, if you want to see the blood knot up close. I won't talk through how to do the blood knot in this video. I'll put the link to the other one in the description field. Okay, so we have tied our blood knot. So there's the blood knot, nice and simple. Sorry, where's the camera? There it is. So I wet that with saliva and I pull that up. It's a bit tricky in this higher poundages. I'll even use probably the pliers at the end of this to pull that knot up tight. From here on in, it gets a lot easier. So I just put this in my mouth. This is the 20-pound. Now I've got to get, bear with me, I believe it's 15. Yeah, next section's the 15. So I'm getting my 15-pound Maxima, about 36. Now from memory, this makes a leader that's about 12 feet long, which is between 10 and 12 feet long. I'll work it out at the end, but perfect for most trout fishing situations. These leaders also perform really well in the wind. The stiffness of the Maxima just really helps them turn over, even if it's blowing quite heavily, which often is sometimes fishing lakes, rivers. Right, now I've done blood knot. Try to get through these as quick as I can for you. Right. Oh, that broke. Hope this Maxima's alright. I might have just pulled it up a bit quick. I'll snip it again, and it's a good reminder to always moisten your knots. I think I did there, but something obviously went wrong. We'll go again. Monofilament line does decay. This stuff's been in the cupboard for a little while. Anyway, I'll just tread carefully in pulling it up this time, and it's a good reminder for you guys out there to store mono. Make sure you store mono in a dark place, and just recognise that it does have a shelf life. As you can see, it's, not going to last forever. Fluoro, on the other hand, does last a lot better. It doesn't decay in UV light. Okay, so there we've got the knot. I'm going to moisten it this time again. Pull it up nice and slowly. Pull it up too quickly, it can burn the line, and that's probably what happened in that last one. Okay, yeah, that's looking much better. Awesome. Righto, so I just get the other end of that, the 15, stick that in my teeth. Now we've got to do the 12. Metering off the 12. Cut it to length. Okay. Now we're getting down to a finer diameter, so I tend to do 3 or 4 turns of the blood knot now because this line's more manageable, and it will still pull up nicely with that number of turns. Just makes it a little bit more secure. I'd say it's probably three or 4 turns for these guys. I'm doing 2 or 3 turns for the knots higher up in the poundages, pound tests. Right, that's nice. It's got it how I want it. Wet it again. Pull it up. Nice, getting easier. Righto, so then it's 12 pound in the mouth, and we want to do 10 pounds. So I've got my 10 pound maxima. 36 centimeters or 14 inches. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I lost that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry guys, I'm just being a bit ham-fisted here, but I have got it. Tricky, this one. Righto, I've got it sorted. Pop it up. Brilliant, that's 10 done. Now I believe we're down to 8. Yep, 36.8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great. Sorry, I lost the handle on that. I think it's probably sufficient to do 3 actually. 4 is making it a bit trickier. 1, 2. Now I've bent the line. That's not great. Anyway, 1, 2. Yeah, 3 is easier. Doesn't get quite as congested in there. Right. 1. Haven't done this for a while, you can tell. 2, 3. To tell you the truth, I'm mostly buying my leaders now, but that's more because I'm time poor. But if you're just starting out in fly fishing or you're on a limited budget, there's no better way to do it than this way. Save you a lot of money and you get leaders that perform just as well. Right, then we do that up. Awesome. That's 8 done. We're very much in the home straight. Now we've got to do 6 and 4. Now where's my 4 pounds? Wait, here's my 4 pound and here's my 6. Stand by for one moment. 36. My scissors. 1, 2, 3. Wonder how long this whole process takes. I reckon you can get it down to probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes in the end. So if you sat down for an hour, you could probably tie up 10 of these easily enough. Excellent. That one's ready to roll. Moisten it, pull it up. Great, and the last one is the 4 pound. Where do I have that? Ah, here, yeah. Now 4 pound maxima sounds light, but that's a very strong abrasive, abrasion resistant monofilament line. So even if the tippet that you put on this is probably going to break before the 4 pound. I reckon the true breaking strain of 4 pound maxima is significantly higher than 4 pound. So it is the final bit that I put on, and I'll sometimes even put like a 5 pound tippet on the end of that, which is sort of notionally a higher breaking strain, but the Maxima I know is like very strong and won't break on you. Most of the time you'll get the tippet breaking first if you're unlucky enough to have anything break at all. And if you're fishing higher poundages like for lake trout and lakes or you know, rivers, big trout, streamers, etc., just omit the 4 and just double the length of the 6 pound. Or even you want it to go crazy, you could double the length of the 8 pound if you wanted a really strong leader. So there we have it, guys. I'll just measure it in feet roughly. So that's probably 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. Yeah, it's about a 9 foot leader. So then you put a foot or 2 of tippet on, you've got sort of a 10, 11 pound leader, which is perfect. Now, and if you want to go longer, of course, you can always just vary the dimensions a bit, but keep the proportions, just jack up the actual length, like add an inch to each one. Now I've just got my cat invading here. Something about when I do fly tying videos, she loves to stick her head in. Now I'm just going to tie the loop knot on the end of this, so I just double the line over and then tie a figure of 8 knot with this. Trying to keep it pretty tight though, because you don't want a loop knot that's so big. It has trouble to go through your line. That's not too bad. Bear with me for 1 sec. I'll just get my wood finish tool and just peg it on the end of it to make sure that it tightens up properly. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to bind that loop knot up. Okay, so if you see there, that's the loop knot. Probably not in focus, but yeah. So that now we've got the leader loop. Now our next job is to trim all the knots off nice and tight up against the where we created them. So I'm just going to do it with scissors. You can equally do it with nippers. It's important to trim them close here because we don't want the when the leader turns over, if you're sort of slightly out of sync, you can get the tag ends of the knots hitting the small bit of the leader or the thin bit of the leader as it goes forward, which you definitely don't want. So because we've tied good knots and the blood knot's a great knot, we can just trim these off flush without worrying about it breaking. So I'm just going to trim all these flush now. So if you see, I'm just holding it in a horseshoe shape to so the tag protrudes out, and I'm clipping it off on that side, and then I'll go to the other side and do exactly the same thing. Just be really careful as you go down with these finer margins that the line's not crossed over or something, and you end up cutting it by mistake and having to start again, which is not great. Right, I've only got a couple more to go and we are finished. That one. Sorry, I've gone all silent. It's like most blokes, I struggle to multitask, so I'm applying my concentration to trimming the knot tags here rather than chatting to you guys, but I'm sure you get the picture. Righto, there we have it. So now we've got beautiful tapered leader. The knots are there, but they'll go through the line guides fine. Pretty unobtrusive, thin knots. If you really need to, you could cover them in epoxy if you really wanted to be super careful, but I don't think it's necessary. And then you've got the loop knot on the end. Wonderful leader for a couple of cents, all made from Maxima Ultra Green or just standard Maxima, doesn't matter. It's just all a nice leader material for tying a great fly tying leader. Just come back up to say goodbye, guys, but yeah, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed that video. I'll put the leader formula in the description below, and we'll probably even do a little bit of a post on this on the blog, so the instructions are there step by step. But there you have it. That's how you make a tapered leader yourself. See you later, guys.